My next topic is superposition of n collinear harmonic oscillations. That means what will be the resultant if we superimpose more than two simple harmonic oscillations. So for example, we have got n number of harmonic oscillations, each having amplitude A0, angular frequency omega, and the phase difference between two neighboring oscillations is phi. So the first harmonic oscillation is represented by the equation x1 is equal to a0 sine omega t. The second harmonic oscillation is x2 is equal to a0 cos omega t. The first one is a0 cos omega t, and the second harmonic oscillation is represented by x2 is equal to a0 cos omega t plus phi. The third one is x3 is equal to a0 cos omega t plus 2 phi. You can see the phase difference between two consecutive harmonic oscillation is phi. So in this way, the nth harmonic oscillation is xn is equal to a0 cos omega t plus n minus 1 phi. So after superimposition, that means after adding up all these simple harmonic oscillations, what you will get? This is the expression. So first x1 plus x2 plus x3, in this way xn. Now a simple harmonic motion can be represented by this equation, x equal to ae to the power I omega t, where x is the real part of complex function z. Now z can be represented as a0 e to the power I omega t plus a0 is common, e to the power I omega t plus phi, e to the power I omega t plus twice phi. See, the complex function is z, and the displacement is represented by the real part of this complex function z. So the displacement, you can see the displacement is represented by a0 cos omega t, a0 cos omega t plus phi, like this. So this represents the real part of the complex function z. So the complex function z will be a0 e to the power I omega t plus e to the power I omega t plus phi plus e to the power I omega t plus twice phi, in this way all the way up to e to the power I omega t plus n minus 1 phi. So you can see this series, this entire series is a geometric progression. Okay, and geometric progression will have a common ratio, and the common ratio of this entire sum is e to the power I phi. So applying the sum of all, so adding up all these exponential terms, we will get 1 minus e to the power I n phi divided by 1 minus e to the power I phi. Now from this bracket, if I take e to the power I n phi by 2 common, so we will be left with, inside the bracket, e to the power minus I n phi by 2 minus e to the power I n phi divided by 2. Similarly, in the denominator, I am taking e to the power I phi by 2 common. You can take this as common, so inside it will be e to the power minus I phi by 2 minus e to the power I phi by 2. So using this formula of sin theta, now we know that sin theta can be expressed as e to the power I theta minus e to the power minus I theta. This should be theta, since this is theta, this should be theta, divided by twice of I. So using this formula, this numerator can be written as this. You can see this entire term inside the bracket I am writing in this form. That means I am dividing the numerator and the denominator by twice of I. So this can be written as minus sin n phi by 2 using this formula, and this entire term can be written as minus sin phi by 2. So putting this entire term in place of this here, so what you will get? Sin n phi by 2 divided by sin phi by 2. This minus sign will cancel out. So what you are left with, a0 e to the power I omega t e to the power I n phi by 2 into e to the power minus I phi by 2. That means I am taking this denominator up, so minus sign is coming, and this sin n phi by 2 divided by sin phi by 2. So after slight rearrangement, what I'll get, a naught e to the power I omega t sin n phi by 2 divided by sin phi by 2 into e to the power, since this exponential is the base, so e to the power I n minus phi by 2. So these two I am adding since they have a common base. So next, since this and this have common base, so I can write like e to the power I omega t plus n minus phi by 2. So ultimately I am getting this equation. The complex function z as a naught sin n phi by 2 divided by sin phi by 2 into e to the power I omega t plus n minus phi by 2. So from equation 8, if x is the real part of the complex function z, as I already discussed here, x is the real part of the complex function z, so extracting the real part, you can see from equation 8, e to the power I omega t plus n minus phi by 2 can be written as cos of this plus I sin of this. So I am taking the real part of this exponential term. So what will happen? So, and that real part represents x. So x equal to a naught sin n phi by 2 divided by sin phi by 2 into cos omega t plus n minus 1 phi divided by 2. And the resulting amplitude will be this one. The amplitude of the resultant due to superimposition of n harmonic oscillation will be this one. This one is the amplitude. You can see amplitude is represented by this. So in this way we can understand the superimposition of n harmonic oscillations. Thank you.